Welcome to The Lens, hosted by Catalysis, where we get a glimpse inside healthcare organizations that are transforming to a culture of improvement to deliver continually higher value outcomes for patients, staff, and communities. Visit createvalue.org for more information about Catalysis.
Welcome back to The Lens. I'm your host, Peter Mariahazi. Joining us today on The Lens is John Toussaint and Carlos Scholz. John, as many listeners remember, is the chairman of the board of directors at Catalysis. Carlos joined Catalysis in June as the new CEO. Carlos joined Catalysis with over 20 years of lean leadership experience, with over 14 in healthcare alone. John, Carlos, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you very much for inviting us, Peter.
John, can you please bring the listeners up to date on the background of Catalysis to our current place where we're at right now?
Sure. So in 2008, I started Catalysis with my assistant after I stepped down as CEO of ThedaCare. And we wanted to establish a not-for-profit education institute that could really help leaders around the world understand the fundamentals of organizational excellence, the fundamental principles, the fundamental systems and behaviors required for success, because we had found a lot of success at my role as the CEO of ThedaCare. So we kind of built that over time, and I was the initial leader. And in 2015, Kim Barnes stepped in as the CEO of Catalysis. Wrote a fantastic book called Beyond Heroes, which really outlined the beginnings of the management system in healthcare, organizational excellence management system. And so Kim did a great job of growing our network, both of Healthcare Value Network and our workshops and many of the other things that we deliver today. And then she stepped down in about 2021 because she got ill, and I stepped back in to lead Catalysis for a couple of years. So we have now worked in, I think, 15 different countries around the world, delivered thousands of educational events, and have worked with many leaders from South Africa to Finland to Singapore, you name it. So we've come a long way, but there's a long way to go yet. As we all know in healthcare, there's a lot of things that need to be improved. All of us that have had recent experiences in our local healthcare systems know that, and so that's why we still are focused on our mission, which is really to improve the way health systems function for patients around the world, both from a quality, cost, and delivery perspective. So it was great when I had a conversation with Carlos, who is much younger than I am and has a lot of energy, and has been in healthcare for many years as a true expert, true lean expert. As I've watched him grow over the years, he won the Shingo Rising Star Award and many other things. So he's the right guy for the job, and we're very excited to have him now leading Catalysis, and you're going to hear from him as to where he wants to take this work.
Thank you, John. So, Carlos, let's start with, to introduce you to the listeners, share your journey with our listeners. Let's tell them about who you are.
Sure. Well, first and foremost, I have to say that I'm very humbled and excited that John considers me an expert in lean. I am by no means an expert yet. I don't think I will ever get to that point, but I do appreciate the sentiment, John. Thank you very much for that. And what I have been blessed with throughout my career is having great coaches, great mentors, great sensei that help shape my career and help shape my growth. John is one of them. John and Kim both were one of them. And I had the opportunity to get to work with them, and I'll get to that in a minute. But it all started in manufacturing. I'm an industrial engineer, and getting out of school, my dream was to work in Toyota. That was my dream, and I thought, like, I'm gonna shape my career to get to eventually to that point. It didn't happen, but I got the opportunity to work in a couple of really good organizations where I learned all of the fundamental, all of the foundational lean thinking principles and tools. I remember in my first job, getting out of school, having the blessing of implementing U-shaped cells, one-piece flow, total productive maintenance, quick changeovers, 5S, you name it. And that really helped shape my career. I had the opportunity to do it in a couple of companies in manufacturing up until a point in my career around 10 years where I really started feeling from a deep personal sense of purpose that I was just not getting the excitement that from when I first started doing these jobs. And what I feel happened around that time is that I had a couple of relatives. My grandfather was one of them, and one of my cousins that really went through some significant healthcare experiences. My grandfather passed away during a time when it could have been avoided. You could see through a lean lens, I could see where the waste and where the defects were along the way that got to that point. And that really struck me. And I really felt that there was something bigger than myself, something bigger than making more things better, faster, cheaper than what I was hoping to achieve through my manufacturing positions. Enter Lean Healthcare. Through a series of connections, I was able to find my way into healthcare. And I was blessed to, I think, work in one of the best organizations in the country from the get-go, which is New York City Health and Hospitals, a wonderful safety net organization, the biggest safety net organization in the country that fulfills a wonderful mission. And I was able to learn everything about healthcare there. And we did a number of improvement events and value stream analysis. We started the implementation of the management system, always inspired by the work of DataCare and Catalysis and John and Kim. And through that, I eventually found my way to Kaiser Permanente, more specifically the Permanente Medical Group, where I was finally able to more directly work with John and the Catalysis team on the implementation of what has been known as the North Valley Way, which has been one of the most rewarding parts of my career, if not the most rewarding part of my career, to see the maturity of this lean operating system and the results that is helping the organization achieve. And I think that was when John realized that, that there could be that possibility of me eventually jumping into this position, which I couldn't be happier. How can I say not to you, John? And of course, what excites me about it is just the possibilities that exist through Catalysis.
So, Carlos, as you mentioned, you've worked with Catalysis for many years as a customer, a member, a contributor to our learning community. What are you solely most proud of with your improvement in healthcare?
Yeah, that's a very good question. If I think about it, what really has been the most rewarding part of my career is just helping so many people realize their potential. And in consequence, helping organizations realize their potential through continuous improvement and through operational excellence. At New York City Health and Hospitals, there are plenty of stories. And I get the opportunity to see my former colleagues from New York City Health and Hospitals at conferences or at different meetings or just in LinkedIn sometimes. And we're having conversations about everything that we were able to achieve that is still lives in the organization and is helping that organization still achieve results. We were just in Atlanta a few weeks ago, and we saw the CEO of Kings County Hospital, and he was telling me, like, we're still doing it. I'm still leading it, and we did some great things together. I cannot thank you enough for everything you did for us. And that's where I feel is the most rewarding part of my career. In Kaiser, same thing. It's just the level of maturity, the level that we were able to achieve in maturity, that you get to realize that this is not going to be an effort, that if we get a new leader, it's going to change. It has, I believe this work that we did in the Permanent Medical Group has transcended that. And it is now the understanding that it is the way that things are done. These are the types of things that I want to help other organizations recreate. And some of the most rewarding parts of my career and my work through Catalysis as well. But at the end of the day, is that deep connection to my personal sense of purpose of helping others grow.
It truly sounds like an enrichment through leaving a legacy, leaving the capability with those that you've worked with. So, okay, let's shift gears. At the time of this recording, you've been in the role for 6 weeks officially, though you did some work ahead of time. How have you been getting yourself up to speed in this new role?
Yeah, good question. If I say that drinking from a fire hose is not the case, I'll be lying. It does feel a little bit that way, but I think what job doesn't feel that way initially. But if I'm able to say, again, going back to purpose, what I'm trying to do as part of my onboarding is starting to connect my purpose to my intent, to my action, and those of the organization. So if my purpose is to help others and serve others and help them grow, my intent is to set the strategies for Catalysis to achieve the vision of transforming healthcare. And through that, I am able to fulfill my purpose. So the actions that I have been very intentionally trying to make sure are happening in my first month in the job is, number one, going to Gemba. And going to Gemba means getting to meet all of the members of our network as much as possible. I still have a few more, but I have been able to get to know a number of them, get to understand what they're looking for, what they value, what are their concerns, and through that, is starting to understand what are the best ways in which we can provide that value, and starting to set the direction for the team to help achieve that value that healthcare organizations in general, not just those that we are currently supporting, but everybody are going to value. I've been blessed with a great team that I have known for many, many years that, number one, are passionate about delivering that value. I can tell you that. That's what I have seen. Our team is very, very passionate about helping organizations really achieve that potential through operational excellence, through helping others learn. That is our mission, to help transform healthcare through experiments in our education. And the second thing that I feel really blessed about Catalysis is the faculty that Catalysis has been able to assemble. I think we have the greatest faculty of any organization could assemble to be able to help others achieve that potential and learn and get coached through leaders, former CEOs and other leaders that have done this. So I'll be talking a little bit more about that faculty in a few minutes.
So what gives you the most excitement and energy to just keep going? As John said, you're younger than him, but you're full of energy and full of excitement. What really drives you in addition to what you said?
Yeah, what excites me the most is the deep connection to my purpose. That is the first thing. Every morning I get to wake up and think about the level of impact that I am able to provide to healthcare organizations, not only across the country in the United States, but across the world. Like John said, we worked in Canada, in Europe, in Africa, many other countries that this work is so essential everywhere that it fills my cup every day to have that feeling that I am able to provide a positive experience and add value to others in the pursuit of that journey of improvement, and that I can help organizations, but more importantly, leaders realize that true potential, help leaders understand who is it that you want to become and how can we help you get to that point so that they can create the right environment, the right culture in which their organizations can thrive through continuous improvement and achieve the results and the overall value that they can provide to their communities, because healthcare organizations are much more than just providing care. It's about providing opportunities for their communities to thrive through population health, through keeping them healthy, through a sense of wellness in their community, a sense of support, right?
So, Carlos, what do you see with now the 6 weeks, if you will, under your belt as the immediate opportunities for Catalysis in delivering on our mission?
Yeah, very good question. I think enhancing the value that we provide to our members is probably our number one priority. Not that we're not doing it right now, but this is an ever-changing world, and we need to constantly be aware of what is the value that healthcare organizations are looking for. And I can think of a number of different things that come to mind. One is our network. As everybody knows, we have a network of organizations that we work with, and our motto is to share and to learn and to grow together. We're not alone. So part of the value that we can provide is, if you're a member of that network, we're going to provide everything that you need to ensure that you can apply it, you can learn and apply it in your own way to your organization. The other is through our custom education programs and consulting programs that are ever evolving as well. The foundation and the principles never change. And I think we're going to keep doing what we're doing in that sense. But there's a lot of disruption in healthcare constantly, and there's about to be even more disruption in the next few months. And what we need to adapt a little bit more to is how leaders can respond to that disruption through the application of these principles of operational excellence. And the other is to spread the word and the good work that this type of work is no longer needed. It is essential for organizations to have. As we brace for even more disruption in healthcare, and there is an even bigger effort to continue to transform the way healthcare works around the world, not just in the United States, but around the world. It's important to develop organizations that thrive through the application of these principles. This is building the foundation for organizations to be more agile, more flexible, to adapt, to support their people, to help them grow, even in the hardest of times. So that is where I believe are some of the immediate opportunities in Catalysis, and you'll be seeing more about that in the next few months.
So as you bring us back to and we think about vision and mission, what ideas are you thinking about for Catalysis to explore moving into 2026, 2027, and beyond?
Yeah. To continue to enhance our network, that'll be number one. It's important to our network and our custom education programs are, we need to build stronger communities that are supporting each other, that are using each other as support and learning bodies to improve. Whatever it is that one of the members of our organization is thinking about doing, they may have a strategic initiative, they may have a specific project that it is important for their goals and objectives. Somebody in our network may have already done it, if not most likely already done it, and they can help and support each other. The other is, I believe, focusing on building stronger commitments to building better healthcare systems. With these further disruptions that are coming, we need to think about how we can support organizations redefine their care delivery models, build stronger leaders, build greater places to work, but with the mindset that this is beyond tools. I think what I would like organizations and leaders to think about is, I think we have relied for too long in the lean healthcare community on tools. I think we're a little bit fixated on things like the daily management system and the daily tier huddles or the visual management. But those are only tools that will not actually help explain the why to people. So a lot of the times that's not going to be enough. It's just not going to cut it given the disruptions that are coming. And this will require deeper commitments to building stronger leaders through a specific set of behaviors that you can see throughout the tiers of the organization. The other thing that I believe is going to be important to help Catalysis achieve its mission is going back to a focus on innovation for health systems. Again, I'm going back a little bit to the way care is delivered. That is changing across the world. We have an organization like the NHS that just released a 10-year plan for, they have a clear vision about where they want to go as a country in the UK. And what I get out of that plan is that the way they deliver care is going to fundamentally change. It's going to take the focus out of the hospital into the neighborhood. So building stronger neighborhood health centers that can support the needs of the population, and really take the burden out of the hospital, which is not the right venue to deliver care. There is a further push around technology and innovation and AI. All of that has deep meaning for a lot of the organizations. So we need to keep thinking about innovating ways in which we deliver care across the UK, Canada, the United States, anywhere in the world. I think health systems are pushing for more value-based care, and that means keeping people healthy. And that means delivering the care is a lot different than what is still happening today. And we need to help organizations innovate in the way they're thinking about that. And I have a vision specifically for something that I call beyond hospitals. And And I think we are still thinking very foundationally that healthcare happens in the hospital, and healthcare does not happen in the hospital only. It happens in the community. It happens in the way we do care gap diagnostic tests for things like breast cancer or cervical cancer or colorectal cancer or hypertension or diabetes or other things, or addressing social determinants of health. And I think we have to think in Catalysis about how do we go beyond the hospital as the center of the healthcare universe and help organizations that are supporting those efforts as well. And again, the last one is those technological advancements, is AI and further technological advancements are really, I mean, AI is here. It's not like it's coming. It's already here. So how can we help organizations about implementing and integrating a strategy through a lean lens? And the last thing that I can think of is creating the future generations of healthcare leaders and lean thinkers. We need to focus more, and this is not only for Catalysis. I believe this is an opportunity for all the organizations that are similar to Catalysis. I'm calling out the Lean Enterprise Institute or other organizations. That how are we thinking about developing that next generation of lean thinkers? How do we open the doors? How do we create a diverse group of individuals that are gaining that exposure and experience into lean thinking, operational excellence, continuous improvement? And I think it's just an exciting time as we think about where is Catalysis going to be into the future. Those are the main things that I see, is continuing to enhance our value, supporting health systems through innovation of their health delivery models, going beyond hospitals, support technological advancements, and creating that next generation of lean leaders, if I may say so that way.
Thank you, Carlos. Thank you very much. Any final thoughts either of you want to share? John, anything you want to close out with?
Yeah, I mean, I think things are changing a lot, and I think that our approach is going to have to change a lot. I agree with Carlos. Healthcare is becoming much more decentralized. My question is, what can we do to support that? And Carlos has outlined some things and some experiments that we're going to run, and we're hoping that our colleagues and members will be willing to do some of those experiments with us so that we can learn, as we always have, and then share that learning with the world through our books and articles and all the things that we do with workshops and otherwise. But I think it's an exciting time as well, and we look forward to serving all of you even better than we have in the past.
Thank you, John. Carlos, any final thoughts?
Yeah, I think, John, you published an article a few years ago, and I believe it was 2013, and you called it "The Promise of Lean in Healthcare." At the time, I believe that you had just created the Telecare Center for Healthcare Value, or you were just a few years in that journey, and you were creating this movement around the United States and the world, really, around, hey, organizations, look at lean as a way of achieving results and helping our patients, really. It was through that article that I got a lot of inspiration. Of course, it's not only that article that helped shape my career and my own inspiration. There were plenty of other things, books and other things that you have over the years published, and you've been really a thought leader around the world when it comes to leaning healthcare. So I think we owe you deep, deep gratitude to the work that you have been able to do so far, John, and I appreciate you giving me the confidence. But going back to that article, at the time in 2013, you called it the promise of leaning healthcare. I think we're way past the promise of leaning healthcare. I think it's about the absolute need for organizations to apply leaning healthcare. Call it lean or call it operational excellence or continuous improvement. I think it's undeniable, and there is much more evidence than before through research that this is the right path for organizations to not only use it as a tool, but as a commitment to a mindset of how the work should be done in their organizations, and that being the foundation to having healthier, more adapted, more flexible, more agile organizations. I think that is the demand of today, and I would like for leaders and organizations to think about what that means for them, and we're here to support you through that journey. I think the need is there now more than ever, and you will continue to hear me say that a lot more in the coming weeks and months.
John, Carlos, thank you for joining us today and updating our listeners on this exciting enhancement and development here at Catalysis. Thank you both.
Thank you, Peter.
Thank you, Peter.
And as always, we appreciate you all listening. If you have any suggestions for us, want more information on this specific topic or other topics you would like to hear, just email us at events@createvalue.org. And as always, please take care of yourself.
Thank you for listening. Visit createvalue.org to learn more about how Catalysis can inspire you to accelerate change in your organization.